The 2021 Belgian Grand Prix became the shortest race recorded in F1 history, lasting a grand total of 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Only 3 of the scheduled 44 laps were completed, with 0 overtaking behind the safety car. And in light of this bizarre race at Spa, we take a look at the top 4 weirdest races in the history of Formula 1. USA 2005. Arguably the biggest farce in Formula 1 history took place at the 2005 US Grand Prix in Indianapolis, with only 6 of the 20 cars starting the race. After Ralf Schumacher's Toyota suffered a tyre failure on Friday in practice, Michelin advised its 7 customer teams that the tyres won't last in the race due to high speeds in turn 13. With the FIA opting not to add a chicane on that turn before the race, the 7 Michelin teams were forced to pull into the pits after the formation lap, which only left the 6 Bridgestone cars on the grid. Michael Schumacher eventually won the race with Barrichello in second, but the event drew plenty of negative publicity, with fans even throwing bottles and beer cans onto the track. Canada 2011. The longest race in F1 history took place in Canada in 2011, which lasted a record 4 hours and 4 minutes. The race featured 6 safety car stints and a 2-hour-long red flag period, with Jenson Button winning dramatically on the final lap of the race. Button was last at one point in the race, but made 34 overtaking maneuvers and 5 pit stops before capitalizing on Sebastian Vettel's error on the final lap to take the win in one of the most extraordinary races in F1 history. The Las Vegas Grand Prix. Formula 1 traveled to Sin City in 1981 and 1982, with the race held in Las Vegas in the car park of the Caesars Palace Hotel. Unfortunately, the Caesars Palace Grand Prix only lasted for 2 years and has commonly been referred to as the worst circuit Formula 1 has ever been to. The strange circuit design with no elevation changes was very unpopular with the drivers due to the strain on their necks, and it was made even worse due to the immense heat of the Nevada desert, causing the drivers to suffer from extreme heat exhaustion. Belgium 1998. The Belgian Grand Prix in 98 was one of the most chaotic Grand Prix in F1 history, which included terrible weather, pit lane bust-ups, and spectacular crashes. The race started in extreme wet conditions, which led to a 13-car pile-up on lap 1 after David Coulthard lost control of his McLaren. In the restart an hour later, pole-sitter Mika Hakkinen spun into Johnny Herbert before race leader Schumacher crashed on lap 24 while trying to lap David Coulthard. Jordan's Damon Hill inherited the lead and eventually finished first to give the team their first ever victory in Formula 1 in an extraordinary race that saw just 8 of the 22 cars reach the checkered flag. So that's the weird and wacky world of Formula 1, but for more great content from the world of sport, entertainment, lifestyle and auto, head across to manslife.in.